Hello, good morning, and welcome to this late morning taste challenge with two white rums from the West Indies, the Caribbean islands. We have Viejo White, introduced in 1906. Even though it's raining outside, it's like rains every day in Louisiana. That's all it does is rain. I want to wash the truck, but what's the point? It's going to get dirty the next, maybe in 2 hours. Oh man, it's driving everybody crazy. Rain, rain, rain. I walked 1/2 mile, still have a mile left to go. But here's the Palo Viejo, introduced in 1906, white rum from Barcelo, Marques, bottled in Illinois by Munson Shaw. Bought that bottle at the beverage store on US Highway 190, business route eastbound in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Great store. I want to go back one day. $6.99 for a liter. Here is this one was $8.99 for a liter, and this is Bocador. More of a normal price, but Bocador white label rum, original superior. Both of them have all these medals on them that mean nothing. They're just medallions. I guess try and make it look at all the medals we won. Don't pay attention. Yeah. They didn't win any medals. Okay. This has like a interesting label. You can feel all the letters, and then you can feel this rumpled. It's almost like naugahyde or something. This one has a interesting texture also. Can't describe it. Maybe another kind of tiny grain leather or something. Anyway, Bocador is a white label, so it says white label, with gold and pink trim. It's kind of strange coloring. Ron Superior rum. The original Bocador rum, famous for its character. I don't know if it's famous. Most people told me they never heard of it. Might be famous in Philadelphia where it's bottled. Made by master distillers where the tropical winds blow. Meaning where? We don't know. We ain't never going to know. Bottled by Worldwide Distillers, Philadelphia, PA. And even the writing on the medallions is just gibberish. It's like, in the comic books when they'll have like writing, it's just like, it's just filler space. Oftentimes, but it's got this like, it looks like something from 1971, right? People are saying, look at our new shag carpet living room with the split level. It's beautiful. We have a Magnavox television in a cabinet. All right. And a push button phone. Here is the Palo Viejo. Okay. Old wood. Honestly, I think it's going to be a draw. Now, I did one this morning. Jack Daniels, old number 7, finished the bottle. Won't be any more bottles. Versus the Jim Beam repeal batch. I got them confused. I'm sorry, I got him confused. Now, Dr. Dave, he said, I would never confuse it because I've been knowing Jack Daniels very closely for 50 years. Well, if you have drunk it that much over those years, you would be able to identify it. I believe that. I don't have that. I don't have enough experience, but I did notice that they were both very heavily corn. But the repeal batch was sweeter. And the JD was more cornbread, corn muffin, corn biscuit, corn flour, corn starch, cornmeal type thing. I liked them both, but the Jim Beam won by default, considering it was $12.87 at Walmart for the same size bottle as Jack Daniels, which cost me $21.99. Now, in this case, I think it's going to be a draw, which would mean what? Palo Viejo wins by default because it's $2 cheaper. This rum is not sold in my town. I cannot get this rum in my town. I can get it in the next town northwest of me on Louisiana Highway 53. Okay, that's the only place I've seen it. And they have a 151. Also, Bocador 151 proof. I'm not dealing with that. That's scary. That's scary. This is 80 proof, and that's good enough for me. This I bought in Baton Rouge, which is 49 miles northwest of me. And that's the only place I've ever seen it. So both of these, I saw at one place each and never again or before. Travis says, what's up? What's up, Travis Childish? All right. So here we go. For what it's worth, The last white rum challenge for the time being, for the foreseeable future, is going to be Bocador. I'm sorry, Palo Viejo versus Captain Morgan White. And the only way Captain Morgan White's going to win, it would have to just be leaps and bounds better than the Palo Viejo, because Captain Morgan White, I paid $18.99, and I was with a $4. No, it was $16.99, because it was $20.99, and I had the $4 discount. No, I'll get it right. It was $19.99 minus $4, so it's $15.99. Okay, got it. $15.99 for a 1,750 milliliter. So it's $15.99 divided by 1,750 times 1,000 would be $9.14 for a liter. Still, $9.14 for a liter versus $6.99. It's going to have to really perform, and I don't see that happening. I like the Captain Morgan White. It's very well made. It's a quality product. I would one day like to try the Captain Morgan Spice, the famous one, the one that everybody drinks, or the Captain Morgan. There is a black, really dark rum. I'd like to try that. But the white has been doing really well. It's a well-made product, been on the market 6 years. Okay, but that's another story for Thunder and Thursday tonight. You say, why are you doing another taste challenge? You did one this morning. I know, I'm just trying to knock down those days, because I'm looking at February and March, right? And I'm looking at days where it's just not going to be feasible to do the challenges. I mean, I could do it on those days, but it would be such an irritation and an aggravation that it would be not worth it. So I'm just going to double and triple up. So I knocked out all of February except for 2 days. But then tonight I can knock out the second to last day. And then next Tuesday I can knock out the last day. Then in March I've got to knock out 2, 4, 5. That's 5 right off the top. 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do that. How I'm going to knock out 19 days and 35 days, but it's somehow possible. I didn't think I could do it this month, but I did make it. You say, you're just drinking more and more. No, I'm not. I'm just doing what I would have done on that day, the little 2 ounces each for this day. And when that day comes, I'm not going to drink anything. Or at least no the liquor. Okay, so I've had people tell me in the past, I never heard of somebody that schedules their, like, what they're going to drink. I understand that, but I do that. I'll even schedule out the beer. Like, I'm going to drink these beers these days. I'm going to plan it out. Strange, I guess, but it works for me, and it's kind of fun to do that in a way. Oh, just coughing a little bit. That's going to take a little while to clear up. I had a cold, but it wasn't bad. Like, normally get a cold, it's so bad. It wasn't bad because I take vitamin C every day. It kind of keeps it minimal. Where everybody else I know is really suffering. I haven't been too much. Still, it's kind of irritating, but so let's pour this one. So yes, I do schedule it out, and I was even thinking earlier, like, how can I was trying to figure out what I was going to buy as standby beers. You know, standby beers are ones I just buy to drink, and I don't review them typically. I'm getting low on Keystone Ice. I like it, but I was thinking maybe I'll get something else. Maybe I'll double up the money I have to pay and get the Modelo Negra. Used to be $14.50 for a 12-pack at Walmart. Went up to $14.99. Still a great beer. I mean, Keystone Ice is mighty fine and it's enjoyable, but it's no Modelo Negra. I mean, I at least have some ability to discern. You know, it's not to that level, but it's certainly a good standby. All right, one of these is a little yellower, and I think that's the Palo Viejo. It is. So the Palo Viejo is slightly yellower, more yellow. Not to where if I glance, I'm going to notice it. But if you look at it in a close inspection, you'll see that. Why? Well, Palo Viejo, the government of Puerto Rico says, and they obviously know, right? Because I was looking at their website, they were saying that it's one of the rums of Puerto Rico, meaning that it's a trade association. There's certain parameters they have to follow. It has to be all sugar came from some source. I can't remember. It has to be aged in a charred oak barrel for at least a year. And there's a few other little requirements. So it's kind of like a quality assurance association that's been around for like 80 years. And you don't have to join the rums of Puerto Rico. Just like you don't have to join the Louisiana Restaurant Association. But it helps you because you can put this decal on the window and it shows that you're following certain voluntary quality standards. You still got to follow certain standards because the Louisiana Department of Health is going to come inspect your place. Of course, the free market usually works even better because if you run a terrible place, a lot of people aren't going to go. Okay. So anyway, enough said. Now, Bocador, I don't know if it's part of any association. I know it's Jacques Hennessy, Worldwide Distillers Company. And they're most famous for cordials, and especially during the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, you see the Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog. They must make a whole lot of money off of that. But they make rum, gin, vodka, bourbon, blended whiskey, and so on. Well, I don't know about make. How about they bottle it and they blend it? Because I know at that plant in Philadelphia, they do a lot of blending and things like that, called a rectifying plant, but they don't actually distill there from what I understand. Kind of like Laird and Company in New Jersey, they blend it and bottle it, but I don't think they distill any liquor at that facility. But they're well known. Laird's is well known, especially down here for their Applejack. Not in this town, but in Metairie, people get the Laird's Applejack, apple branding, which I've never tried. All right, these do not smell the same. They smell similar, like they're white rum, right? You get it, but they don't smell the same. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. Like this one is charred oak, a little pepperiness, and the low level light molasses. Very standard, making me think it's Palo Viejo. This one here, it's more not as charred. You don't get as much charred oak. Do get some though. It's more what's that smell? It's almost like a beer or yeast smell. You say beer, really? I'm telling you, I can't describe it so well, but it's something unique about it, which is making me think of the Jacques Hennessy, the Bocador, because their company makes, the ones I've tried from their company are all kind of peculiar, not in any way bad. No way bad, just maybe it's a Philadelphia thing. I need to go to the Mummers Parade and then I'll understand better. I don't know. Let's go. Sugar, like powdered sugar you put on a beignet. Charred oak. Not a lot of alcohol booze, though. It's not really boozy. It's got to be the Palo Viejo. It tastes like it. It tastes like it. Could the rain be stopping? Could it be true? Yeah, what is that? This is nothing strange like the Ron Rio with that Monsanto Roundup and bag-ass taste. It's just a little quirky. And I always thought the Bocador was quirky, but good. Good. Now, if I saw other products from this Philadelphia company, would I buy them? Well, yeah, because my experience has been on point so far. Very good rum, $8.99 a bottle. Very good spiked eggnog, alcohol eggnog for $9.99 a bottle, or was it $10.99? It's a liter, but it's still good. I mean, it was dynamite. So that's 2 out of 2, 100% batting average. So that would make me think that everything's coming out of that Philadelphia plant is good. Are you going to see advertisements for it? No, no, no. Not going to see TV commercials. They don't have a lot of money. You're going to drive by and say, that looks like some purely industrial place. What tourist would ever come here? Exactly, none. Barcelo, Marques making this product. They're not going to give tours. You're not going to buy swag. It's this kind of thing, you just see it around. Question, which one tastes better? It's a good question I asked myself. Don't taste the same. In case you think all these rums are just the same thing, bottled and different labels, it's not. It's the same type of thing. It's like the American blended whiskey. You say, that's all the same stuff. It's not all the same stuff. There's little flavor differences across the board. Just like American adjunct lager, American beers. There's generally the same, but there's little flavor differences all across the board. So to say that Miller High Life tastes like Pabst Blue Ribbon, it's not correct. Similar, not the same. No, I can't say one is better than the other. It's even. They both taste very good. They're both high quality, and the value is incredible, especially for the Palo Viejo. Now, the most important part, since it is a taste challenge, which one? Well, before I even say that, what do we know? Well, the Palo Viejo has clearly won the contest. It's $2 cheaper per liter. There you go, winner. Whether I can tell them apart or not, it's the winner. Just like the Jim Beam Repeal Batch versus Jack Daniels. Couldn't tell them apart. Didn't matter. The Repeal Batch was the winner because it was way cheaper. And there was no degradation in quality. No trade-off in quality. It's great when you can get a cheap one and it's the same level as the more expensive one and you don't lose any quality. It's a perfect trade-off. I guess you would call that the perfect trade-off. You're saving money and you don't lose any quality. Does that happen a lot? It doesn't really happen a lot. It happens. And it's a great thing when it happens. Like the Keystone Ice. I can get a 15 pack for $7.99 at Circle K. Of course, I got to tell them that their tag is wrong every time. It's that kind of company, they're never going to check something. So I say the tag says $7.99, and the lady's like, hold on. And then they go and I'm waiting. They come back. They know the tag says $7.99, so they change it from $8.49 to $7.99. Oh, no big deal. But $7.99 a 15 pack, and Keystone Ice can go toe to toe with any mass-produced American lager beer. Although Keystone Ice is ale, it's an ale, but you have to concentrate on that almost to pass out to figure out if it's any different. It is a little different. So that's a perfect trade-off because you don't lose any quality at all. Molson Coors has a great ability to make inexpensive products that can compete with the premiums, even the above premiums, I might add. But I don't like to drink the same thing all the time. If I had to, I wouldn't mind. I mean, Keystone Ice is great, but I like to mix it up. So I think I'm gonna go get some Modelo Negra because it's worth it. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, now we're having a lot of fun. The great Modelo Negra. And my friend David would say, don't forget Dos Equis Ambar. It's a great one too. I agree. But I I would have to go with the Modelo Negro because it's got more body and it's higher alcohol. It just gives it more character. But I do like the Dos Equis Ambar. I can't say I don't. And it's $13.99 a 12-pack, and the Modelo Negro is $14.99, $1 more. So would the Dos Equis Ambar be a better trade-off? I think it's still a draw because you're paying less, but you're kind of getting a little less. So that's a balancing act. However you want to do the balancing act. All right, so I'm going to call it. That's it. And then tonight we're going to do Thunder and Thursday. James still has some of that Japanese beer he's excited about. I'd be excited if I had it too in that cobalt blue bottle. I don't have it. I can't. I've never seen it. I'm going to do another rum taste challenge. Like I said, Captain Morgan versus Palo Viejo. Unless I change my mind and do a bourbon, but I don't know. I'll ask him. I'll say, you want me to do rum or bourbon? Doesn't matter. As long as I knock out the days, you know. But then what difference does it make what I'm doing, right? As long as I cover all of that. And then next week probably won't be till Tuesday. Although I could surprise you, but I don't think I will. Oh, wait a minute. Now I got to think about that. All right, so probably be Tuesday. So we'll do the Jim Beam repeal batch and the Jack Daniels number 7. That probably won't be till Tuesday. You say number 7, you mean old number 7. No, I mean number 7, the green label with the gold writing, which nobody can get except for people in Texas, Tennessee, and maybe Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Yeah, that was $25.99. Wrong. $24.99 for a liter. Think about that. $24.99 for a liter, and I had to pay $21.99 for $7.50 of the black label. Is the black label better than the green label? They claim it is on the website for Jack Daniels, but of course they claim it is. They're trying to sell more. They don't. The green label's the reject that they bottle. They say that on their website. It's inferior, and they bottle it. I can't really tell much difference. So if it's better, it's like that much better. But you're going to pay that much more. So why would I pay that much more for something that's that much better? Answer, I wouldn't. My father was telling me back around 1975, they were going out to some dance. They used to have dances all the time, like you pay money. It was from some charity or some club. And he said, I'm going to buy some whiskey. He said, I went to that store and I said, they had Jack Daniels black label and green label. He said he looked behind the counter. And he noticed that the green label was a lot cheaper. This is back in the 1970s when we used to get the green label here. Now, my friend Paul, who lives in Texas, says, isn't that the normal Jack Daniels? He's telling me this. Isn't that the normal? He's been living there for 22 years. Isn't that the normal black Jack Daniels? So what you mean? He said, you know, the green label, isn't that the normal one? I said, Paul, nobody can get that. He said, well, in Texas, it's like what everybody drinks. If you ask for Jack Daniels or you go buy it, that's going to be the green label, which is fascinating because it's unheard of in Louisiana. But my father was telling me, he said to the man, oh, is the black better than the green? And the man was like, not really. So he said, just give me the green. He wanted to go cheap, you know. I said, what happened? He said, everybody drank it. I said, oh, okay. He said, but one guy drank so much he puked in the car, which sounds bad. I said, that sounds really bad. He said, yeah, he was so stupid, you know. He said, and then the next day at work, he was telling me, oh, I feel so terrible. My daddy was like, because you're stupid, you know. I bought the bottle. I didn't tell you, drank all of it. Anyway, just an old story, but it's true. Here we go. I'm saying Palo Viejo. Wish me the best. Better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is the Palo Viejo. All right. I feel all right about that because I was saying it from Jump Street, you know, talking about the 90s, early 90s, but or late 80s. All right, so yeah, it is distinct, and that was the Palo Viejo, and I got it right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. And it's $2 cheap. Boy, what a winner! I got to say this: Palo Viejo might be the best value I ever got, and I've gotten a lot of values, as we well know. But $6.99. $6.99 a liter, and this thing is just killing it. This thing is just winning left, right, front, back, center. Man, look, no joke. I'm not, you say you've been drinking. That's why you're saying, no, 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 no. Believe me. I mean, I have been drinking it over the last 2 weeks. So yeah, okay. Believe me. If you want like the greatest value of white rum on the planet, maybe you should reach for Palo Viejo from Puerto Rico, because this thing has been just killing it, stone cold winning every time. And that's a great thing when something's just nailing it every time nailing it. You know what I mean? Like never falling down, never like you have to argue that it's okay. No way. And I think I think Palo Viejo is going to give Captain Morgan White a serious run for its money. Cheap and foodie. Caleb says, I dig the hat, Ron. Just tuned in. Oh, thank you. Well, it was just me talking, but I was talking about some interesting things, but am I saying bad things about Bocador? No, 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 no. If you see Bocador, $8.99 a bottle, I would definitely buy it. I would not hesitate. Don't even hesitate. Now, I can't say above $8.99, but it probably is worth $10.99. But oh yeah, this is a real winner. Been on the market for 49 years. Think about that. I'm way down here in Louisiana, right, on the Gulf Coast, and I go to this obscure grocery store in an obscure town on an obscure highway, Louisiana Highway 53, and I see this rum, and I'm like, what the deuce? $8.99 a liter. I buy it, and bam, it's winning. A year later, I go to Baton Rouge, which is not an obscure city, if one should call it a city. It's more like a huge town, but people say city. Okay, well, I'll play along. I say that in a joking way, because you drive through Baton Rouge and it's like, I'm looking at cows. There's a field full of cows, and this is a city. We're in the city limits. Okay, all right. When you think of cities, you normally think of what, like skyscrapers, city, not cows in a pasture. But go there, and there it is. Bam, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, I mean, we get some very unusual items down here, and I ain't complaining. I am not complaining, because it's like an adventure every time you go to the store. And who doesn't like an adventure? Well, I love it. All right. He's Jeep and Foodie says, any thoughts on Myers' dark rum? Yes, many thoughts, but I can't talk about them right now. But I love that product. It tends to be a little expensive relative to other products, but it deserves the expense. It deserves it. It earns it. I bought a liter glass bottle. Usually you see plastic. I bought a liter of Myers' at Dorgnac's, glass bottle, $18.99. It's a little cheaper than normal. And that is a true, absolute, fabulous winning product. Oh, man, Myers is so good. When I was talking to Swillengrog came to Louisiana from Australia, believe it or not, Queensland, Australia, 2 years ago. We went shopping. He was looking for this, that, everything. He said, oof, I want to get Myers' rum. I said, why Myers? Ziz. Myers Ziz. It's actually Myers apostrophe S, 2 S's, S apostrophe S. But everybody calls it Myers, just for the sake of not saying Ziz. All right. I never heard of it before. I told him, I said, what's that? He said, oh, this woman he knows loves it. This lady. She's a friend of mine on Facebook. All right. He said, you can't get it in Australia. And if you do find it in Australia, you're going to pay $100 a bottle, which is outrageous. $100. So he sees it at Walmart in New Orleans for, like $20. He couldn't believe it. He said, in Australia, this would cost $100. So they're going to take it back on a plane. They might have to pay some nominal import tax. He said, even if they had to pay $10 tax, they're saving $70. He said, it's crazy. They're under this terrible protocol where they got to pay outrageous prices for simple products. Thankfully, we're not under that yet. So then he had me thinking. So when he said Myers is, and he's bragging about it, I said, if somebody would come from Australia and be making a dedicated search for a product, it's got to be something to it. Nobody's going to just, be searching for that. So I bought the liter bottle, the glass, and I was like, oh, bam. No wonder he wanted it. But if you don't like wood, forget it. I mean, it's so woody. It's like oak. You're like drinking oak. It's like, ugh, but it's awesome. Myers is, and if you go to Sazerac House in New Orleans, because they own it now. Oh yeah, they are big time into Myers' rum. They just like brag about that, like, oh yeah, man. Sazerac was so hot to get that product. I think when Sazerac made that deal with Diageo 2 years ago, they were hot to get two things, especially two things. Seagram's VO and VO Gold. Sazerac was like, wait a minute. They're like, Diageo, you really want VO Gold, VO, because you don't do much with Seagram's VO. And they're like, nah, you could buy it. And Sazerac was thinking, and then Myers is there thinking, ooh, because Seagram's VO, that's not like a joke. You know what I mean? That's a serious Canadian whiskey, been on the market so long. So Sazerac was thinking, we're going to buy this and make it big like we did with Southern Comfort in 2016. So Sazerac is kind of like that. They just roam around looking for brands that have been neglected, and they'd say, we're going to make bank on that. Southern Comfort. I mean, people, they just go crazy about Southern Comfort. The last 4 years, they say, oh yeah, man, I'm drinking Southern Comfort. How you feel? Jealous? And I'm like, wow. And Sazerac has an insight on that. I don't know what they have, like spies or something, but they're doing very well with that. How about, okay, Jeep and Foodie Caleb says, how about your next double down includes Boudin as a food pairing? Boudin. Well, certainly that's a fascinating idea. I can get Boudin here, but of course it's inferior. To really get Boudin, I have to go about at least 90 miles west of this town. I have to go west on US Highway 190 or Interstate 10. So say 90 miles west. So I'll probably have to drive an hour and a half to get some really credible Boudin. Is it worth it making that drive? Well, sure. We were coming back from Texas last year, and my friend David insisted. He said, we have to stop and get this Boudin. I was like, what? We have to get home. What are you talking about? Well, he was getting angry. You're like, you got to stop. Why you got to be like that? You don't have to be in control of everything. You don't have to be in control all the time. I said, it's not a matter of being in control. I'm just planning things, But I said, okay, all right, hell, damn, I'll stop, But he was right, though. I had to eat my words because this place was, I bought the boudin balls. They take boudin and they put it in the thing and then they deep fry it. I said, oh yeah. I was glad. I told him, I said, I don't usually like when you raise your voice and get all militant and abusive and everything. I said, but in this case, I appreciate it because it paid off. You know, I mean, we did need to stop. And I didn't really need to get home that early, you know, so. Oh, that was serious. Yeah, Caleb, I like your idea. And I think, let's say give me till December 31st, because I need some time to play with. But boudin food pairing with a double down. But let's hope I can get the Colt 45 double malt. Yeah, or Keystone Premium red can, which I don't think they make anymore. But you know how that goes. Oh man, that would be great. And get some good crackers this time, like some really good, like artisan crackers, good hors d'oeuvre crackers. Oh man. I'm thinking like getting some boudin and frying it on some extra virgin olive oil with eggs, scrambled eggs, naturally onions, and maybe some bell peppers and serrano peppers. Woo, man, you came up with some ideas today. All right, that's it. We'll be back at 7 o'clock Eastern time for Thunder and Thursday, and I'm going to do the Palo Viejo and the Captain Morgan White. That's going to be a serious video. Okay, he says, great story. Look forward to whatever you can come up with. Yeah, you just never know. You never know what you're going to find, because when I went to Memphis, I'm about to have a heart attack over there, you know. My friend David, he gets on my nerves, all right? I'll admit that. He'll admit it too. But he's like, you got to do this. You got to do that. I was like, wow, I'm on a road trip with like some kind of maniac dictator, you know. But he was saying, we got to go get barbecue. We're in Memphis. We have to go to this barbecue place. And the hotel says Travel Lodge. Go to this place by Elvis Presley's old house on US 51 southbound. It's like they probably own the place. His cousin probably owns it. But he was saying, you got to do it. You got to do it. I said, all right. Okay, we're going to. I said, let's go. So we go to this place. In the ghetto, like Elvis Presley sang, in the ghetto. Not that bothers me at all. So I was like, well, I can see that they clean this place at least once every 10 years. But it was an incredible pulled pork sandwich. I have to admit that. It was, I could see why people were lining up. They were just like charging the place. It was like 11:30 and they were just like coming in there like madmen, you know, buying all this barbecue. And you could smell it all over the highway. It's just like smoke roiling across the 4 lanes, you know, with the neutral ground in the middle. I was like, oh man. So I said, well, okay, I'll admit it. It was awesome, you know. And then I said, you want to go to this liquor store across the street in a beer store, that beer store over there? That's like telling a heroin addict, you want some smack? You know, it's like, yeah. So we go over there and he was just flipping out. He's like, look at all this beer. Oh. Well, I was trying to play it cool, you know, like, yeah, they got a lot of brands, you know. I was trying to play it off, you know, but I was in my mind, I was thinking, so I tried not to cry, you know, in front of people. So I just said, all right, glad I got money. But what I could have bought, you know, what I could have purchased would have been much bigger than what I bought. So I was thinking, you know, you're talking about double downs. Like a week later, I was like, why didn't I buy all that other stuff? We ought to go back to Memphis. But of course, you're not going to drive 6 hours one way to get more beer. But it was that serious. So he was like, this is unbelievable, you know. Then after we went to the Tulane Memphis football game that night, which was a fiasco, and that was terrible, horrible. But anyway, the next morning he said, let's go back to that place. Naturally, it was closed. I said, you know, I feel terrible because we could have literally gone to that store after the game because they were open for an hour longer after we went there, or we could have gone there. He said, why you didn't mention that? I said, I actually didn't know that till this morning, but well, why couldn't we have driven 3 miles? But anyway, oh, well, I've found more things on road trips than you would ever imagine. But then William Kepley tells me the same thing. He'd drive to Ohio and just be shocked, stunned. Can't believe it. Okay, all right, blah, blah, blah. All right, 40 minutes, enough. But yeah, double downs. I never dreamed I was going to get Coors Extra Gold, but there it came in to my house. Thank you, JoJo. Red Dog. Would I do a double down with Red Dog? Probably be like a 10-hour video. Anyway, thanks for watching this video.